Hi guys, how are you? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Priscilla. I make content about navigating life in your 30s as a Ugandan African woman. That content includes lifestyle, travel, career. I take you along as I go on a journey, just to explore and learn life. Way to change your life in your 30s. And there's been many videos about navigating life in your 20s and leveling up and things like that. But I feel like some of us are late bloomers, and by the time we figure out these things, you're way into your 30s, and sometimes you may feel like you have lost time for one reason or another. So I wanted to just come here and share a few of the tips that I feel have been helpful for me in just navigating life in my 30s and just how to change your life. It's never too late, guys. It's never too late. So my first way to change your life in your 30s, I have them on my phone here, so I'll be reading. My first way is quit worrying about what other people think about you and don't follow trends. I feel like there is this temptation to just sort of try to shape shift and fit into a mold that everyone else thinks you should fit into. And if you've watched one of my other videos where I talk about how to live life on your own terms, I sort of say you should have that core group or those core people in your life that you feel feed into it, can criticize you, can call you out, can say all those things. So I think if you have that core group, those are people you should listen to, and those opinions matter. But everyone else's opinion, honestly, should not matter to the point of crippling you from living your best life. People have set expectations for us. Society has set expectations for us, especially as women, as African Black women. There's just so much pressure, and as a woman in your 30s, that pressure even doubles. So for me, one of the things that I feel has helped me to change my life has been to stop worrying about what other people think and to stop following trends. Just because it's a thing everyone is doing doesn't mean you have to do it. Just to sort of be authentic and be true to myself. I'm not perfect about it. As I said, I don't have everything figured out. It's a journey. I'm learning and unlearning and relearning and those things, but I feel like that for me has been something that has stood out for me. So we have allergies, so I'll sort of be, Then the second one has been stretch and exercise. Like exercise is good, and I feel like sometimes we exercise for the sake of losing weight, but for me, I feel like exercise has been excellent in my life and helping me to sort of stay focused. Even just a long walk, even just running, a small jog, dancing like on a workout. It doesn't have to be extreme like CrossFit or extreme lifting of weights and stuff. If you can, well and good, but if you can't, even 5-10 minutes, because I feel like as you get in your 30s, truth be told, your metabolism slows down, your body sort of starts to change, so it's very good for stretching and exercising. For me, that has really helped. Then the third one has been learning more about food and nutrition. You guys, you will not, you won't believe, someone was asking me, how do I stay lean? How do I maintain my body weight despite all the food and all the pasta that I eat? For me, I have learned, I've started to study a little bit more about food, so I know the things that bloat me. Like I love chapati, guys. I love bread. I love all those things, but a lot of wheat bloats me, like a lot. So I don't eat much bread. I stay off a lot of like chapati, wheat, mandazi. Like I don't eat those things a lot. It's like if I'm to eat them, it's like a treat. But that's for me, because I know that's how my body reacts. So it's sort of just finding out about nutrition. For example, milk. I think I'm sort of like a lactose intolerant of sorts, because every time I take milk, I get like a stomach cramp for like 30 minutes. So I try to stay off milk. I take milk when I'm home, maybe for cereal, but like if I'm traveling or something, I will not take milk. So it's sort of just learning about food and your nutrition and knowing what sort of food is good for your body, what is not, what works for you and what does not work for you. You don't have to be a vegan simply because it's a trend, but if it works for you, why not try it out? So yeah, then the third one is getting out of debt, getting out of unnecessary debt, unless I'm not saying all debt is bad. Like if you have like a mortgage, or if you're borrowing to invest in a business, that's good debt. But bad debt is lifestyle debt. Like simply because they say at the age of, in your 30s, you should have a home. In your 30s, you should have a car. In your 30s, you should live a certain lifestyle. if you can't afford it, don't buy into the pressure. Like, do not. I've said it openly. I'm not into cars. I will never ever borrow to buy a car. Period. If you ever see me driving an old Primo, just know that is it. Like, so it's just about being honest about your lifestyle, because in your 30s, if you're not careful, you can easily get into debt to maintain a certain acceptable lifestyle. And I wonder for whom. But yeah, so just for me, that has really been helpful, knowing that the only debt I ought to have is good debt. If I'm investing in a house, if I'm investing in a property, that's really good debt because it will bring money, it will bring you returns. But borrowing because you want to buy a liability is not really a good, for me, doesn't work. So that's one of the things that has really helped me. And also investments. I've talked about investments. And if you're in your 30s and you are privileged enough to earn a substantial amount of money that you can live off, you know, please try to invest. And not just investing for now. What's wrong with my voice? Sorry. And saying that not investments just for now, but also plan for long term. Like, you know, in your 30s, remember when we're in our 20s, 30s looked so far. And right now, when you're talking about your 40s or 50s, like, it seems so far. But if God blesses you with long life, you don't want to reach 50 and you're saying, I wish I had invested in my 30s. If you have some extra money, invest, no matter how big or small it is. You can open a mutual trust, a unit trust fund. You can you can start a life insurance policy. You can invest in stocks, invest in bonds. You can invest in shares. Like, there's many ways of investment that does not require you to open like a shop, because all of us honestly can't be entrepreneurs. That I know for sure. Me, I'm not cut out for running a business. But if you're like me, there's other ways of earning passive income without necessarily having like a shop, a physical location of a business, right? So yeah, just start and educate yourself about investments in your 30s, and you don't wait for that huge big money to come. Even if you're earning just enough for you to survive and a little bit more to save, don't worry, start now. It almost pays off. I think another form of changing your life in your 30s is quality over quantity. I think sometimes in your 20s, at least for me, I had like, you know, you have so many people, but as you get older, you start to want to connect with people on a deeper level and stuff like that. So just be open to having quality friendships, and quality friendships come with investment. Your friendships won't be perfect. Trust me, at least mine are not. I have been a bad friend, I know, at some point, and some point I've been the best friend I could ever be. But you have to invest in your friendships, because as you get older, it becomes quality over quantity. You may not talk every day, you may not meet every day, but you should be able to have those friends that if you meet, or if you have a problem, or if they need you or you need them, you can count on them to be there. So for me, I think quality over quantity is one way to change your life. You don't need a chibanda of friends. You don't need like a gang. You know, even if it's just 3-4 people, that is enough, you know. So yeah. And then another thing is just forgive yourself for mistakes you think you made before. You know, I find that sometimes when you're evolving and growing, at least it has happened to me, sometimes I look back and I'm like, I cringe at the decisions that I made, at the things that happened to me, that I decided to do. So forgive yourself. Don't be so harsh on yourself. I mean, God has already forgiven you for whatever it is that you think you did. So why hold it against yourself? You know, so forgive yourself for the mistakes you think you've made, for the words you see that you should never have said, for people you met that you should never have met, you know. So forgive yourself and release, because you can't move forward if you're still locked up in the past. If you're still looking at the past and it's holding you captive and it's holding you in bondage, you can't really move forward. I had someone talk about this on I think a TikTok, where they were saying, you're driving forward, but you're always looking in the rear view mirror. You're bound to cause an accident, you know. So focus on the future. The past is the past for a reason, you know. So forgive yourself for those mistakes. No one is perfect. and we are all on a journey to becoming better human beings. And I think that the third should be becoming a better person, not staying in who you were yesterday, but knowing that you are changing and evolving and shedding off some of those things that, you know, used to easily ensnare you a bit, you know, before in your 20s or whatever. So your 30s should be that time where you are making peace with what happened, moving forward and acknowledging and owning your truth and your story, you know. And if you ever get a chance to tell your story, feel free to tell your story, because it's your story. It has power. It will release many people. The mistakes you've made have made you into who you are now. They made you a better person. So hopefully they have. Then another thing is learn something with substance, you know. And when I say learning something with substance, it doesn't have to be getting another degree or getting a PhD or going back to school or stuff like that. But there are many, for example, I follow quite a number of people on YouTube, and I see the advertising all the, it's called Skillshare, like there's Coursera. There are so many learning platforms that offer free courses, some of them at a very small price, $1, $2. So you can learn something, and it doesn't have to be school. It doesn't have to be something that is related to your job or anything. But let's say if you've wanted to paint, let's say if you've wanted to learn how to do needlework, to embroider, to garden, to cook something new, like maybe learn about Mexican food, learning about hair, learning about your skin, like just learn about something, or something, you know, something of substance. Put your brain to use, you know. Let's say you want to go back to Bible school, go back and study the Bible. You want to learn a new language. That's why, you know, you find that as you learn new skills, your brain opens up. Even in terms of your conversations, they'll be more interesting. So learn something new. Learning never stops. So don't say me because let's say I'm a medical doctor, I cannot learn anything outside of medicine. No, like explore the world. You know, we were created to learn, and once we stop learning, sort of like I feel like you die. I don't know. I feel like life starts to be boring. Life can sometimes get stressful, right? So for me, I feel like if you get stressed, take a break, take a chill pill, sit down, pour yourself a glass of water, a glass of rosé, whatever glass that makes you happy, a cup of tea, take a chill pill, sit down, but don't quit on your dreams. Because I feel like sometimes life can really come at us, and life in your 30s can sometimes be very fast-paced. You have work, you have family. If you're married, you have your partner and your children. You have, if you're alone, you also just have your other things to do and your business, and there's just so much sometimes that you are responsible for, and it can sometimes quite be stressful. But I feel like instead of just throwing in the towel and say this thing is not working, I'm done and I'm not gonna do it again, I feel like just sit down. Kakana, first sit down, take a rest, don't quit, but it's okay to rest. Rest is revolutionary. Rest is powerful. Rest can be like just sleeping in. Rest can mean taking a holiday. Rest can mean shipping off your kids, if you have kids, to your mother-in-law or your parents or a friend. You know, so just take some rest for yourself, but do not quit on your dreams, because I feel like you owe it to yourself to pursue the things that really bring you joy, to pursue the things that you feel are purposeful to you, you know. So don't quit on them when they get hard, because sometimes they will get hard. Like, you know, life does sometimes get hard, but it doesn't mean you should quit. You know, you shouldn't quit. Just take a step back, rest, reconvene yourself properly, and then move forward, right? And then in your 30s, I feel like, like if you don't have a family, and I'll say this with a disclaimer, because I understand if you have a family, if you have responsibilities, it's not easy to do that. But if you still have the privilege of being on your own, I say privilege because it isn't a privilege to be able to only be responsible for yourself. But if you have kids, you have elderly parents you're taking care of, that's a whole different ball game, right? But if you are on your own and you have issues with your career, please switch up your career. Like, this is the time, I feel like in your 30s, it's a time for you to switch up your career, a time for you to make those boss moves that you want to make, start that business if you want to start, like especially in your early 30s. I feel like if you want to pack up and leave the country, this is the best time for you to do it. Like, move to that new city. You want to go to Mbale, go. You want to go to Bushenyi, you want to go to, you know, like Kuwait, you want to go to Bangkok, you want to go to, mention those cities that you want to go to. Italy, I want to go to Italy, guys, so badly. But, you know, like, if you want to just up your life and go, and you are on your own in your 30s, I think this is the best and perfect time for you, because you are like it's a nice place, a nice space to be in. So yeah, like that's one of the ways I feel like you can change your life in your 30s. Like switch it up. If you feel like I studied a degree in law but it's not working anymore, you don't have to being a lawyer for the rest of your life if you feel like it's boring. You can change your career, maybe move into human rights, move into teaching, move into a whole different, career. Like I've seen people who have quit their jobs for content creation full time, people who have quit their jobs to become artists. But I say this with a caveat that I know it's not everyone who can do this. But if you're in a situation where you can and there is no reason why you shouldn't, please do it. Don't feel constrained. If you have a family, if you have kids, responsibilities, black tax, I mean, I get it. It's not the easiest thing for you to just up and quit your job and, just like that without a plan, stuff like that. So it's not that easy. But there's people who have that social safety network, net, so they can actually do that. And if you can, I mean, why not take the chance? Use that opportunity in your 30s to do that, because in your 40s you sort of now start to get a bit scared, you're a bit set in your ways, and also now you're getting older, so you'll be like, I don't know if moving will. But in your 30s, I feel like now in my early 30s I'm so full of life, so full of energy, so full of adventure. Like I feel like the world is my oyster. So I feel like I'm blue-eyed, like I'm a little girl still, in a way of like I'm so open to experiencing life. So, and I hope I continue to be like this in my 40s, but I know that sometimes things may change. You may get a kid, you may get family, you may have to take care of your elderly parents, your siblings, so you don't have that luxury. But in your early 30s, if you do, that's one of the ways to change up your life. And then in terms of changing, I feel like for me, the things that have stayed has been the change that has come slowly. Slow change for me is permanent, So I feel like one of the ways that you can do is make a list of some of the things that you feel you want to change. It can be from your character. Maybe you want to plug into church more, to attend church service more, to serve more in church. Maybe you want to see your parents more. You want to become a better friend. You want to become a better sister, a better sibling, a better brother, a better human being. Or you want to start an orphanage, you want to start a charity, you want to start your creative career, you want to, whatever it is you want to lose weight, you want to gain weight, whatever, make a list of some of the things that you want to change. Anyway, so you can focus on like 2 of them and just slowly start making changes, because I feel like slow change is permanent. But for me, rapid change can sometimes get me off the balance. So I like making baby steps towards some of the things that I want to do permanent for me. So if you want to do some of the things you want to change, you can make a list and start mpola, baby steps. Don't put so much pressure on it. Just give yourself some time. And then another thing is learn about yourself and spend time on the things that truly enrich your life. Learn about yourself. I feel like spend some time alone. I used to be scared of spending time alone. I think not scared, but I never had that space. I was always surrounded by people. So when I left home to study abroad and live on my own, I had no option. I had no option. People abroad are not going to come and visit you as at home, So you start to learn more about yourself, and it's been a great experience. So learn more about yourself, spend time by yourself. You realize, I like this, I don't like this, I like that, and start journaling down. Like write some of the things that you feel you like, some of the things you feel enrich your life. For me now, I know I have a green thumb. Plants enrich my life. I love the earth. I like make you happy, meditating on the word of God, and for me at least, and just finding what really works for you. And then another thing in terms of life gets busy in your 30s. Truth be told, life gets busy because we are all building, we are all, I feel like the 30s are your building time, because you have so much energy, you have so much drive, you have so much inspiration, so much hope. So the 30s, you get so busy, and because of that, sometimes your friendships, your family can sometimes get constrained, not because you don't care about them, but because all of you are in different places, you're in different spaces, you're like, some of you are married, some of you are not. So those who are married have kids they're dealing with, and you're not. You're single like me, you're dating. So your conversations are very different. And then maybe you have 2 jobs, maybe you're in school. So you find that life is pulling you into different directions. But one thing that I find is that sometimes it's good to practice having micro conversations. I am so used to having like 1 hour conversation with my friends, but not everyone can have that time to have those long conversations. So practice having micro conversations. And when I say micro conversations, things like where you send someone a meme, I saw this and I thought about you. You send them a small note when maybe someone is traveling. Like recently, a friend of mine sent me a letter for my birthday. A friend was traveling, she wrote me a letter and said she sent it to me, you know. So it's some of small things like that, micro moments, micro conversations. It's not like you're going to take for 2 hours. You're going to be on a Zoom for 3 hours because, you know, blocking that time out is not easy. And also sometimes your calendars are not matching. Like I can't believe I'm at a point in life where I have to schedule conversations with people that I love, actually say what time is good for you and stuff like that. And sometimes that can go on for months. So I realized that just having micro conversations, 5-10 minutes, oh, how are you, just checking in, I thought about you today, hope you're good, you know, something small like that, it still shows the person I'm thinking about you, I've not forgotten about you, but life is happening, right? Sending someone flowers, even if you're, you know, sending someone a small message on Instagram. There's so many ways to connect now, you know. So yeah, just practicing that honestly helps to make your conversations and your relationships much fuller, and you don't feel as isolated, because sometimes people are going through very isolating life experiences. Things like marriage can be life isolating. Things like death of a loved one can be isolating. Entrepreneurship, guys, we underplay how isolating entrepreneurship can be. But starting a business, or even starting a new job, can in itself be isolating, like, because you just want to bury your head and work. You know, even like content creation, guys, the journey of being a content creator and just starting a new journey can really be. So practicing micro conversations always helps if you're going through such a life isolating moment, so that your friends know, like, look, I'm dealing with stuff, but I've not forgotten about you. It's not like we are having issues, right? And then lastly is just questioning your motivations of why you do the things that you do. You know, I feel like as you go through your 20s, you've absorbed all these things from different things. And then I feel like in your 30s, you're in a space where you can question your motivations. Why do you spend the way you spend? Why do you desire the things that you desire? I think it's a very good conversation to have on a journey to changing your life and leveling up in your 30s. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Please let me know down in the comments below what you feel stood out for you. I know this probably is a long video, and yeah, but I just felt like it's something I wanted to just share with you. And all of us are on a journey, and we're on a journey of becoming the better versions of ourselves and living our life to our fullest potential. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Please do subscribe. My battery is waning, so please subscribe, leave a comment down below. I'm really trying to grow my channel. Share the videos with your friends. Let us get more eyeballs on these amazing messages, and let us navigate life together in your 30s. The 30s should never be scary for anyone, and we should all, you know, there's a community that can also hold your hand. So thank you.